annual cycle trip in June 2012 was to be a week-long ride from the Atlantic to the Mediterranean, starting at Arcachon, west of Bordeaux, and finishing at Sète, south of Montpellier. Bill, this year's organiser, had chosen a route which would largely follow canals. The Canal Latéral à la Garonne to Toulouse, then the Canal du Midi to the Mediterranean. 8 of us flew initially to Toulouse, where 5 with their own bikes reassembled them, whilst 3 of us hiring bikes met them at the station, having got soaked in a downpour on the way from the bike shop. We could only book 4 bikes onto the first train, so Bill, Nick, Brian and Peter went on the TGV. Whilst Ian, Malcolm, Mark and I waited for the next train, a slower regional one. But with racks to hang up our bikes. And at last we're on our way.
We appreciate it. Sit down now, don't we?
Meanwhile, the first party are on the local train from Bordeaux to Arcachon, where we all meet up again a little later and head down the coast to visit the Dune du Pilat, the largest sand dune in Europe. Then, to officially start at the Atlantic, we have to dip our wheels in the ocean.
Everybody's been baptised in the Atlantic.
I'm glad we did that.
Yes,
I was thinking, why do you want to see a big sand dune? But when you got up to the top, it was worth it.
After a good meal, it's back to the hotel for a night's sleep before the real cycling begins. Next morning, it's a damp start, but we soon get on our way with 55 miles to go. Bill has found a cycleway that follows the route of an old railway line. It's a smooth ride away from traffic until we find the track flooded by an overflowing river where we have to pass under a major road.
Darling, come on for the camera.
Fortunately, the weather's dried out when we stop near a supermarket for a picnic lunch. And we're soon back on our way. Brian has an electric motor fitted on his bike to assist his pedalling when needed, causing Nick to complain.
Just chased Brian up the hill and he was cheating. I was catching him very quick and then all of a sudden I wasn't. I believe he switched his switch, which is cheating.
Sunshine.
Well, no, because there's not actually a fixed route for the morning, so we could go a lot of different ways.
Eventually, we enter the village of Villandreau, our destination for the night. Wooden cabins will be where we sleep tonight, but we have interesting company. We seem to be the only people here this evening, but managed to get drinks and food. As the next day dawns, a long day is in prospect of about 70 miles. We start off on the old railway route again.
But we really want to be on that road, don't we?
On that road going up.
Yeah.
But we have to find our way across to the start of the Canal de Garonne.
So what's French for only a puppy bloke would have a dog like that?
Now I
it says straight on here.
That's what I assume. The sign says the canal's that way.
That's because that doesn't start at the beginning of the canal.
Our friend Peter, who lives in France, has arranged to meet us at the start of the canal. And here he is, with a new bike.
What's happened to the rally?
The wheel was all crinkle crankle, and I tried to fettle it, and I made it worse. And the local bike shop said so. I've had to come on this, which means I haven't got any panniers or anything. So
Some quick repairs, then off along the tarmac canal path. After a lot of cycling, we are ready for lunch.
There's nothing here. Shut.
It's a one-horse town and there's no horse.
So we carry on, hungry. This bar looks promising, but no food, so we get a drink anyway. Nick, Mark, Ian and Peter have carried on further and found food. So we get back in the saddle to the next town. Food at last. So we've just had our lunch now at about 10 to 5 and we're back on our way. On we go, following the canal and catching up with a strange pedal car. As the canal crosses the river, we see Agen, our destination for the night. Refreshment required before heading for something to eat at the end of a long day. Next morning, Peter has to leave us.
Guest appearance.
And we head back to the canal path for another 65 miles cycling all the way to Toulouse. We have to cope with the occasional hill when we divert into a town for refreshments. Otherwise, it's a smooth ride most of the way. Today we've learned our lesson and bought something for lunch in the morning so that we can stop to eat when we find a nice spot by the river. An aqueduct takes us over the river as the canal gets higher. And this boat lift takes it even higher, along with many locks. Much needed refreshment.
and coffee.
Forward to.
Still 27 miles out and you want to start swallowing ale.
As we carry on, we see more users of the canal. Malcolm's hire bike suffers a flat tyre.
I bet he can change it in less than 2 minutes.
And that's what we noticed. I thought I was getting really fit because I was thinking, what's he bloody holding me up? Yeah.
That's 2 minutes, isn't it?
Nick, our expert bike fixer, has it sorted in no time.
Bloody hell, that was quick.
And Malcolm is soon back on his way. Bill's turn for a puncture.
I am just so weary now. I think the heat drains you. You just, yeah.
But eventually we all make it to Toulouse and we're ready for a good meal. As we prepare to set off again next morning, we're down to 6 cyclists as Brian and Malcolm have opted to take the train. We are now following the Canal du Midi. Bill's planning stops along the route. Ian's happy.
Never must send you, babe.
But the canal path soon deteriorates. Until we reach the picturesque town of Castelnaudary, a major port in the region. Further on we meet a Belgian couple on a tandem and compare notes.
That is basically the result of this holiday with you lot. That was flat. No, that was flat before I started on this holiday.
The going gets rougher, and sometimes we can't decide which track is worst. Eventually we reach our destination of Carcassonne and a view of La Cité, the ancient walled town. After finding the hotel, we head out to explore. The site of La Cité has been occupied since before Roman times and was strengthened and extended over the centuries, but fell into disrepair in the 17th century. In the 1840s it was reconstructed as a national monument and is now a major tourist attraction.
The cycling was great on the other days, but today was different.
The first 40 was written off in that book. Yes.
The first 40 tomorrow is like the last 40 today. Those tracks.
It'd be a combination of gravel track,
Fire road and single track.
and the odd bit of tarmac, if you're lucky.
Yeah, when you pass over a road.
Quite heavy port content.
Back to the canal path, heading to Béziers. Nick is repairing inner tubes after a number of punctures, as we wait for Ian, who has had another one.
My friendly Frenchman.
A pleasant drink stop. Then later yet another puncture.
You can just see the Pyrenees in the background over there.
How far to go, Bill?
10.
We're getting closer, but have to pass over the Malpass tunnel. Then it's downhill at the Fonsaran locks, a staircase of locks dropping the canal 22 metres to join the Orbe River. We can now see Béziers, but to get there must cross the river and cycle uphill to the town. Béziers is twinned with Stockport, so we went out looking for similarities, though we saw no signs to show their link to our hometown.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it?
We've walked far enough to see the cathedral, which Stockport has as a twin.
So we gave up and went to eat.
I'll have the Enter Town on the menu, 20. More puncture repairs before setting off on our final leg to Sète on the Mediterranean coast. We found our way back onto the rough canal path.
bit's actually less bad than... This is relatively smooth for just soil, isn't it?
The Libron works are a set of gates where the canal crosses the river Libron, and an obstacle to bikes. The gates regulate the river flow so that in times of flooding the river passes over the canal. Further on we reach Agde with its unique round lock. After a short hold-up, we cross the river before finding the canal path again, which isn't getting any easier. Brian has already opted to find a route by road.
I would think we need to turn right then.
Eventually we leave the canal track as we approach the coast, getting onto a route running near the sea towards Set.
Oh, Mediterranean.
It's going to be about 385 the distance.
We have to dip our wheels in the Mediterranean to signify the end of the journey. However, some have got ahead of us, and we meet up again.
You got there first, didn't you?
Yeah, we crossed the line all together.
Of the cyclists,
All for one,
all three
and
of
one
us
for
went
all.
across together.
That's right. Three musketeers.
Last meal in France. You've got to do it properly.
Excuse me.
Well, the kebab we're going to have this evening is not going to really count, is it?
This time,
You've got to go at least 2.5 miles without a puncture now.
Yeah, punch between Toulouse station and the hotel.
Once again, 4 of us are booked on the first train back to Toulouse, 3 with hired bikes to be returned, plus Brian.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the 3 early arrivers dipped their wheels in the Med
And make your bike go rusty.
before getting a later train. Bikes to be packed up.
Yes. 70 years. Yeah. 70 years. Yeah.
The puncture count.
They're not in front, we have King of the tyres.
Have you said that on WhatsApp?
13, I think. 13, that must be a record for a cycle trip. Yeah, 13.
The end of a good week, when it's all been too much for Mark.